Controlling a gradient based off of light incidence is a very powerful feature, and I thought we could take a look at setting it up in both the layer system and the node editor. So I'm going to go over to the surface editor, and let's start with the layer system. So I'm going to go over to the texture editor, and I'm going to change the layer type to gradient, input parameter, light incidence, and we're going to pick the only light in the scene. Okay, and I'm just going to drop a couple different colors on here. I'm going to start with kind of a dark brown, and then let's go with another color, and I'm going to set the key to stepped, and I'm going to lighten that, and that's set to step as well. Okay, so we're going to do kind of a cell shade thing, similar to the cell shade video, but this is showing in the layer system how to set up incident angle, the light incidence for the input parameter. Okay, so let's use that, and there we go. So you can see the different steps, and if I were to grab the light and rotate it, we're changing the surfacing based on light incidence. Okay, we can do the same thing with, I'm going to rotate that back. We can do the same thing in the layer system. Now we could go the route that we went in the cell shade video in the node editor, but I'm going to show a quicker setup that I picked up from Dodgy on the NewTek forums, and let's go ahead and grab a gradient. I'm going to plug that into color and set up a similar setup like we had. So I'm just going to go with kind of a dark brown. Okay, go to the next key and I'll lighten that up some, and go with the next key and I'll lighten that up some. Okay, and let's go ahead and set these to step as well. Okay, something like this. Okay, and if we notice in the input, there's incidence, but there's no light incidence. But what we can do is come over to Add Node and choose Diffuse Lambert, and we can plug the Lambert shader into the input parameter. You can already see it on our little preview here, but let's go ahead and do a render. And as you can tell, we're getting the same setup. It's based off of light incidence, and we have our different colors here. So just another way, if you want to see another way of setting up light incidence for a gradient in the node editor, you can check out the cell shade video. But actually, this one's much faster and will support all the lights in the scene, whereas with the setup I have in the cell shade video, you could support all the lights in the scene, but you'd have to set it up, because I set it up for one light, which is usually what I like to do whenever I'm doing any kind of 2D cell shade look. But this is just a really quick setup using this Lambert shader. So just a quick look at using light incidence to control a gradient in both the layer system and the node editor.